also oil is very costly, and also the consistency of the oil is dictated by the companies, right? So it's not very easy to get a very thick oil or get a very loose oil, even with different kind of mediums which we mix. So I make my own oil and I make my own canvas which can be of any shape, so that I can control the things. So that's why the texturity of the meat can be very well conveyed in that. These are the work which are right now in there. These are mostly experiments on like reference, means those photos which were there, those were references which I took for making a painting or for making a drawing. But then many of the times you will see that artists make a lot of layouts, right? So I used to photo dash and do all those things, but not in Photoshop, directly on the paper, cut
Alright.
cut and because that gives a better effect actually, because in Photoshop all is flat. There are layers, but those are virtual layers. We do not see the layers. But in real life, we can just paste things over other things, textiles, and markers and things. So that is very easy for even visualizing. So those drawings are part of those visualization. Those are experiments which I did for a purpose, but then those experiments are sometimes better than the work itself. Means we believe that there is an environment which has to be created, and in a group show like this, but there are so many various kind of concepts, and everything else is so varied. I cannot make a painting which is so over even in color or anything that it will disturb some others' work. So limiting the size or limiting the amount of color or texture sometimes helps in a good organization. But if I had this entire show, then I can experiment with the size, make it larger and larger.
Do you feel that tours you chose to display here are conveying that experimental process to people?
That each and every work is part of the process, and anytime it is brought out of the. There are a lot of works which are so subtle that you have to read or ask the artist to understand it. But sometimes it can also be done in such a way that it is very easy to understand also. So that has a difficulty of being a bit direct also, which I have got some critiques about. So that's something I have to work about also. But sometimes it is easier for the general public to understand. That butcher shop thing was there. I was connecting the human experience with the animal experience to get that thing. And then after that, when I saw throughout in my landscape, Shantiniketan has a very important relationship with trees. Means each and every place you will see a lot of different kinds of trees which are not native from there, because Shantiniketan land was a barren land, and Rabindranath Tagore planted those trees, and that is part of the ecosystem right now. Just connecting that aspect of the butcher flesh with the trees which are butchered, because we also have that same kind of thing, but because it looks different from us, it might we have been so much desensitized that we do not think much about it. It's not easy to think about also. If I cut that tree and if blood flew out of that, maybe it would be more sensational than just being a bit of. So that's how it came about.
When you think about the meat industry itself, not only confined in India but also outside India, the meat we are consuming now, it's not cultivated in a manner that's humane.
This reminds me of a very interesting episode of Rick and Morty. Actually.
Rick and Morty,
Yeah, there is one episode where Rick went to a planet and he brought a human from that planet, and when they suicide in that planet, their interest becomes of spaghetti, and it is very tasty spaghetti. And until anybody knows, until Morty knows, he was enjoying the spaghetti, and after he knows, he became so depressed that we were eating a person, and just because he looked like them, not from the same planet, no connection, nothing, but just because they were looking like them, so he became so depressed. He went to that planet, he made them aware. Then that planet became a entire society of selling those society. So that is kind of that commentary on those kind of things, and it was very interesting. So I felt that means my idea was being conveyed in a very good way. In that way. Shantiniketan, we work on ourselves very less. We most of the time look at the society and then work on it. And then incorporate the observation we made about the society and put ourselves in that later.
Yeah.
In Baroda, I see a different kind of thing, which is most of them they look at themselves and then look at the society through there. Everybody is different, but still there is one that connection there. So that is a different thing, because maybe because of the landscape also, the thing changes.